Hi there, everyone. It is currently the early morning hours here on the 1st of August, 2014. I'm actually making this update right around 4 a.m. Japan Standard Time, trying to get this out before you start to get hit with some rough weather out there in the southern Japanese island this morning due to tropical storm Nakri. We're also still watching Halong moving away from Guam. I'll talk a little bit on that later on, but let's talk about Nakri here, which if you are on the main island of Okinawa, you may think, where is this storm system? I mean, the track shows it right overhead. It just wobbled along the western seaboards, the center of circulation. That's where we've been seeing some of this lowest pressure. But look how far the wind field extends out from this, from the west towards the east. That yellow line, that's indicating your tropical storm strength winds, 30 to 35 knots or higher. The thing with this storm system, and one reason why the Joint Typhoon Warning Center still is not warning on this, every other agency is that it is not your typical tropical storm. It is a monsoonal gyre of a storm system. And what I mean by that is that you have this just massive wind field. Your low-level center is right here, but the max winds are extending off there towards the north and towards the south. So what we're going to be seeing as we look ahead through the next basically 6 hours, our storm system's going to start to lift off there towards the north, and those winds that have been gusting down towards Daitojima, actually in Daitojima, 70 mile per hour winds, 112 kilometer per hour winds has already been reported this morning off there towards parts of Kagoshima. We've been seeing 103 kilometer per hour winds, even over towards Miyagi as well. We've been seeing these very, very gusty winds up and over 90 kilometers per hour during the overnight hours. That is going to start to all shift north here. We have this very intense rain band that's expected to push over Okinawa here by 6 to 7 o'clock this morning. Really, it even could extend out to about 9, 10 o'clock, and I'm still looking at gusty winds throughout the rest of the day into the afternoon hours. We'll be looking at some precipitation as this does push overhead. So right now, you really can look at this, and I know it's not the technical definition, but you really could look at this as if you were sitting inside a massive eye, basically, throughout the day here. Or throughout the overnight hours here, and that's why the winds really have not felt all that intense. So the storm system's going to continue to track off here towards the north. We're going to see those gusty winds really start to kick up, and it's just going to stay persistent there in Naha and much of the southern Japanese islands, finally clearing up across parts of Taiwan. As we look at into Saturday, still some breezy conditions in the morning, but I think most of it's going to be over with by Friday night, or excuse me, basically Friday overnight and the Saturday morning, that is. By the time you wake up Saturday, you're still probably going to see some gusty winds, definitely more than what you're seeing here on Friday, but the conditions will improve throughout the day, and definitely by Saturday evening, if you have plans, it should be okay. So where is it going? Well, this is where it's going, off there towards the north, probably into the Yellow Sea, pushing around Korea, Busan, Seoul. You're going to be seeing some gusty winds out of this, definitely. I think that actually there's a flood threat, a pretty decent flood threat over towards Miyazaki, into Kyushu, southern portions of South Korea, even Shanghai is probably going to see some pretty gusty winds out of this, as well as this does continue to track off there towards the north. But definitely Seoul, a lot of these major populations areas over and over towards Busan, it's going to be some rough weather, and the worst of it probably would be around Jeju-do as that continues to push off. Once again, though, it's not expected to intensify at all, and by the time it gets up here, it's moving into these cooler sea surface temperatures, so you're really just going to watch out. So, how about our long range, guys? Because this is what I know a lot of you are worried about. So Halong pushed across Guam and Saipan, basically back on Wednesday, and brought some pretty nasty weather. This looks like it's headed towards the southern Japanese islands. And you know what? I'm not going to say at this point it's not, but I'm not going to say it is, because models are all over the place, and it all comes into a few factors here. How much will our storm system Nakri pull on this storm system, and how strong is our subtropical high off there towards the north? Because if this pulls on it, let's say it does, and it continues to follow in behind Nakri, it's going to move out this way. But if this storm system moves farther north enough, and this high pressure ridge extends back towards the east enough, it's going to go like this, and then it'll turn towards the north, or it might just run right in. And I think the higher threat here is it's running eventually into Kyushu and Shikoku in the long range. So model's actually pretty split on this still. I mean, here's the nav gem, and this is just taking it off towards the northwest, and it parks over Okinawa. And then the GFS kind of rolls it off there towards the northwest, and it swings around that ridge, and it pulls it north towards the Kii Peninsula and even over towards Tokyo. So that's the big difference we're looking at right now, everybody. Okay, that is all, though. I'm going to get ready for work, 4 o'clock in the morning here. Just wanted to put out this information before you woke up this morning. So, yeah, thanks again for watching, and stay safe out there.